What's going on YouTube? Rob A again, and today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Generations Bumblebee. Now this is an IDW version of Bumblebee, and it looks kind of like a mix between the movieverse and G1. So he's got like a very G1 head sculpt, and just overall aesthetic is kind of Generation 1, but he's got the muscle car thing going on, which is very movieverse and Prime. So it's an interesting mixture. He is part of the Thrilling 30 line of Generations toys, and so that means that he comes packed with an IDW comic of Bumblebee with a Hasbro exclusive cover, which is very cool. And we'll check out the back here. You can see he's got a little bio and some stats, and we'll read that off now. Rebuilt into a new, more powerful form, Bumblebee attacks life and the Decepticons with a newfound confidence. His enhanced speed, armor, and strength all combine to make him the warrior he's always wanted to be, but he remains devoted to his human friends and the Autobot ideal of freedom. Okay, and then he comes with Stinger blasters, which I guess combine into one weapon. That's cool. Sports car mode, as you can see. Down here, his stats, strength is, he's got some decent stats. Nothing crazy. His courage is way high, but, Bumblebee, that's kind of how he's always have been. He always has been, I should say. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for this guy. I'm going to get him out of the package and take a look, and we'll see what he's like in hand. So I'll see you guys in just... Okay guys, so here we have IDW Bumblebee. This is vehicle mode, obviously. And as you can see, he is a familiar black and yellow striped muscle car of some generic kind. Yeah, pretty cool looking overall. Do like him. You can see underneath, he's got some spots you can see right through, and there's obviously his chest panel right there. He rolls all right. He rolls fine. Just be warned that his chest panel does come down very far. So if you have it on a less than smooth surface, you may run into some trouble with clearance issues there. Also of note, the back panels, which these form his legs, they slide out for robot mode, and getting them back together, specifically to clip these two pieces that form the back windshield together, can be very, very tricky. They're just not tricky as in like complicated, just very tight. The tolerances are very, very strange. The tolerances on a lot of this guy are kind of strange, so just bear that in mind. As you can see, he's got his little cannons on the side here. Stinger cannons, I guess, or something or other. And as you can also see, the yellow on these does not match the yellow on the car, and I think that's really a bummer. It looks like it would have taken, and you can see just by a little bit of overspray here, that one more coat probably would have fixed the problem. But I guess they were feeling a little stingy with their paint. And you can see that a little bit elsewhere on the robot mode as well. But thankfully, as far as the vehicle mode goes, all of the yellow matches just fine. There's not really any spots where it looks glaringly out of place. This piece right here is a little bit lighter than the rest, but honestly, I think it's the light more than anything. Right now, because in different lighting scenarios it looks just fine. As you can see, it blends well enough. But to transform this guy, you're just gonna detach these two bits here and put them off to the side. And what you want to do is come around here and just separate the, just kind of wiggle the back end a little loose here, and then kind of pop these doors out of the way. And then you're just going to separate these bits here, and then unclip the legs. And you can see these two little clips and this one little clip, they have to kind of, go in on each other like that. And that is the tough part. Like, you have to really get it at an angle to start with, and make sure that these two pieces are properly together, I should say. And so continuing on with the legs, you're just going to kind of stretch the legs out here, just like so. And I'll show you what I mean by the sliding gimmick. You see back here there's this black piece surrounded by the yellow bits, and you just push these. Well, you want to separate the feet first, just get those down, and then these collapse in just like so. Separate the foot, get it down out of the way, and this will collapse in theoretically. And it will be very difficult, especially while I'm on camera, to do this. Oh boy. There we go. Ow. That hurt. Okay. So there you have Bumblebee's legs, basically all set. The back ends of the car form knee pads. So coming up here, we're just going to separate the front halves of the vehicle. Well, not front halves, but these bits from the front half of the vehicle. And just kind of fold this piece back and down. And then we're just going to collapse the chest until it kind of clicks in place. And you'll see this piece has a little slot right there that it can plug into very loosely. It probably won't stay there, but it can go there. And then, last bit, you just push the shoulders up and then kind of accordion this in and the door out. In and out. Just like that. And there you have Bumblebee in robot mode. And he's got big old feet, which is good because it makes him very stable. And yeah, I mean, he's decent. I would say he's probably my least favorite of this particular wave. Certainly the weakest out of the four in this wave. And you can see right here on his arms there's another issue of the yellow paint not quite matching. They just needed more coats, like just thicker paint, thicker layers of paint on there, and I think it would have been fine. But yeah, not too bad. He's got a little bit of kibble on his back, but it's really not that terrible. I think it could have been lessened even if they had made it so that you could like turn it around and have these bits kind of facing, you know, up, or, you know, up between these two wings. Probably would have been a little better, but you know, every joint adds to the cost of the figure, and you know, you just have to understand that and live with it. But articulation, well, I'll show you head sculpt real quick. I do like his head sculpt, that's for sure. There we go. I like that head sculpt. I think it's Bumblebee-ish enough without being too overly, you know, either G1 or movie-like. I think it's got a nice bit of personality, but you can still tell it's Bumblebee. And that's it. Articulation. He's got a rotating head. It's not on a ball joint. It just rotates. He's got pretty good, you know, swivel and lift and rotate in the arms. He has a like knee level bicep swivel. He's got very soft ratchet elbows. His hands do not move. He does have a waist swivel, which is nice. He's got ball jointed hips and an upper thigh swivel and very nice knee bend here, as well as a moving, rotating, ball jointed foot, which is also pretty cool for getting those kind of wide stance poses and things like that. And we'll put him in one of those poses now, and then give him his weapons. He can either hold them like this, just like so, or you can stick them underneath on his arms. But the way it shows you on the packaging is to flip the handle out like that on one of them, and then just clip them together like that, just peg them right together, and then he can hold that in his hand like so as a big solid stinger blaster, or you can even stick it underneath so you can have it underslung, which I think looks pretty neat, pretty cool that way. Yeah, so quick size comparison here, guys. Here he is with the standard Prime Viacon. So you can see they're pretty much the same height, and pretty much the same bulk. I mean, we got a very similar sized figures going on here. Very decent looking. And here he is with the rest of, well, most of the rest of his line. Megatron is not around at the moment, but he's a little bit bigger than Orion Pax, and around the same size here as Trailbreaker or Trail Cutter. But yeah, I mean, overall, decent figure. He is, like I said, I think he is the weakest of this wave, but he's by no means a bad figure. I mean, he's a neat little deluxe. He's fun to play with, easy enough to transform back and forth. It's those tricky back leg panels that they're kind of but other than that, he's decent enough. Yeah, so pretty cool. Very nice wave overall, I have to say. Trail Cutter, Orion Pax, Megatron, I love those guys. I think they're awesome. This guy, I like him. I don't love him. He's not bad. Yeah, so that's going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment, and of course subscribe. And yeah, I've got some more Transformers coming up, hopefully this week. And yeah, I think that's going to be it. Thanks again for watching. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.